So, there's always something interesting going on in the crypto world. And
Always, right?
yeah, and Dogecoin has caught my eye recently.
It has, yeah.
It's really had some energy behind it lately.
Oh, yeah?
Jumped over 7% in value just yesterday.
Wow.
And what's even more interesting is that it's holding on to those gains.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Even with a little pullback in the market.
I know. It's, it always makes you wonder what's going on behind the scenes.
Exactly. And what's driving this kind of positive movement,
Yeah.
What we're going to try to do today is try to get under the hood a little bit and see if we can explore some of the reasons for this upward trend. And we've come across some really interesting information.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to break it down for you.
Okay.
We're going to start with something called the official Dogecoin Reserve.
Now, this is interesting. This is it looks like a group closely connected to Dogecoin announced the formation of this reserve. And what's really interesting is that this isn't happening by itself.
Oh.
It's actually a partnership.
Okay.
Involving both House of Doge and the Dogecoin Foundation.
Interesting.
And, they announced a 5-year partnership back in February.
Yeah.
So this seems like a concrete step forward in that partnership.
Right. So the main point of this partnership is to try to make Dogecoin a more widely accepted form of digital money for everyday transactions.
That's the goal.
Something that operates without, central control and is genuinely useful for people, for regular purchases.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this reserve sounds like a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
So they made an initial purchase of 10 million DOGE.
They did.
10 million Dogecoin.
That's a huge commitment.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So what's the thinking here? What's the strategy behind this?
They're trying to create a proof of concept, a real-world proof of concept.
I see.
They want to demonstrate Dogecoin's inherent ability to facilitate smooth and efficient transactions.
Interesting.
And to do it in a practical setting.
I see.
So not just saying it can, but actually showing that DOGE can work.
Okay, so they're moving away from it just being a meme-driven asset.
Totally.
And towards using it for actual purchases.
Yeah, and we have a quote here from Michael Gayoro.
Yeah.
He's a member of the board-elect of House of Doge.
Right.
And he talks about how the strategic reserve lays the groundwork for a functioning payments ecosystem. And he emphasizes its role in ensuring things like liquidity and price stability and reliable operation.
And those are all, super important.
Essential.
Yeah, for any currency.
Absolutely.
To be successful.
For sure.
To be able to buy and sell easily.
Right.
Have some kind of predictable prices and just a system that works consistently when you need it.
Yep.
So it sounds like Guerrero is also saying that
this reserve can help bridge that gap between how fast transactions are currently processed and the kind of immediacy that you need for like buying something in a store.
Exactly.
So making it as easy as paying for your coffee.
That's the idea.
Wow.
Yeah.
So taking Dogecoin beyond speculation and actually making it usable.
Yes.
What I think is really interesting is the symbolic significance of this 10 million DOGE purchase.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of the whole crypto market, that might not be a huge amount of money.
Right.
But
it's symbolic.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's like a statement.
It shows commitment.
Yeah. It shows that they're serious.
For sure.
About developing this.
Absolutely.
I wonder if that will inspire others in the market to follow suit and start taking DOGE more seriously.
It could.
And start looking at it as more than just a funny internet thing.
Exactly. They're really trying to build trust.
And lay out a vision for the future of Dogecoin.
Okay.
As a usable currency.
Moving on a little bit.
Yeah.
There's some really interesting analysis looking at Dogecoin's recent price movements from a different perspective. This comes from a well-respected analyst, Kelly Martinez. And he's been looking at the price chart for DOGE and has seen a specific pattern emerging. He's saying that Dogecoin seems to be breaking out of what's called a triangle pattern.
So for those who might not be familiar with technical analysis, a triangle pattern on a price chart often means that the buying and selling forces are kind of in balance for a period of time.
I see.
And that leads to a consolidation in price before a big move happens. And a breakout from that pattern can signal which way the price is likely to go, up or down.
Interesting. So in this case, Martinez is predicting that the price could go up by about 16%.
If the breakout is confirmed.
Yeah. He even shared a chart showing this analysis with the triangle pattern and where he thinks the breakout is headed.
That's cool.
It's important to remember that technical analysis is just one way to look at price movements.
It's a tool.
Yeah, it's not a guarantee.
It's not a crystal ball.
Yeah, but it does give you some insight into the sentiment of the market.
Right.
And it can definitely influence how the price moves.
Yeah, for sure.
It's almost like the market is reacting positively.
Possibly.
To what we just talked about with the reserve.
It's possible.
But we should also look at the bigger picture.
We should.
And think about Dogecoin's price history.
Yeah, Dogecoin has had a wild ride.
It has. And it's important to remember that.
Yeah.
So while this recent upward movement is good news for people who own DOGE,
absolutely,
we need to remember that the price has actually dropped quite a bit recently.
It has.
If you look back, Dogecoin got up to almost 50 cents.
Right after the U.S. elections.
Yeah, there was a lot of excitement then.
So much hype.
But since then, the price has corrected.
It has.
Significantly.
Yeah.
It's fallen over 60%.
Wow.
So this upward trend now could be seen as a bounce back.
A relief rally.
Yeah.
After a big price drop.
So how sustainable is this upward trend?
That's the question.
Especially with this new development of the reserve.
Yeah, that's what everyone wants to know.
So we've got this new Dogecoin Reserve aiming to make DOGE a usable currency.
A real currency.
Yeah. And we've got the technical analysis suggesting that the price might keep going up.
Right.
I think it's really fascinating to see how these different things are all interacting.
Me too.
This community effort to make DOGE useful. The overall mood of the market.
Yeah.
As seen in the price charts.
For sure.
And just the whole evolution of the cryptocurrency landscape.
It's all connected. It's all intertwined.
So this all brings us to a really interesting question for you to think about.
Okay.
How might these developments change how people see digital currencies like Dogecoin? And how might they change how we actually use them in our daily lives?
It's a good question.
Could a reserve like this be a step towards mainstream acceptance?
Possibly.
Or is it just one small piece of a much bigger puzzle?
It's fascinating to watch it all unfold.
It is. It really is, as the world of digital currencies keeps evolving.
It certainly is a dynamic space.
It is.
For sure.
Okay, well, that's all the time we have for today.
Well, that was fun.
It's always interesting to delve into these topics.
Always something new to learn.
Always.
In the crypto world.
Okay, well, we'll see you next time.
See you later.
Bye. Yeah.